to speak about the minimum wage and how it is impacting me as a server. I've been in the hospitality industry for over 17 years. I hail from Los Angeles. I have a lot of experience as a head server. And coming to Seattle, my biggest challenge is the minimum wage. I get really excited about a higher minimum wage, but what bums me out is how the restaurants are trying to kind of compensate for this hike in how they have to pay everyone. Because what's happening for me is I'm finding that I'm now struggling to be stable in this hospitality industry where I should be making money. For example, one restaurant that I used to work at, even in my interview, the person completely just, the owner of the restaurant complained to me the whole time about how much money it's costing her. That happened in the interview, which was kind of funny to me. And so we got paid, it's a smaller company, so we got paid about 11 and a half starting this year. The great thing about that is at that particular company, the service charge was included. It's a 20%, and then we get a percentage of that. So we actually got 60% of our 20%. So it was a team service, so I usually would get 30% of my sales, which was pretty significant. So even at 11 and a half per hour, I was still making consistently between, say, $1,300–$1,400 every couple of weeks. And now I went to a different restaurant where the service charge is included. I've got a higher hourly rate, which is now 13, and it's going to move to maybe 14–15. But there's a cap where I get a percentage of, I guess, a commission, because now the company is trying to compensate for these higher minimum wage that they have to pay their employees. And now that's affecting me greatly, because I thought, oh great, more per hour. But what's happening is, say for instance today I made maybe $13 an hour, and I only worked maybe 3 hours. My commissionable sales were, say, $400–$500. 13% of that was only, say, $60–$70. But if I made 20% of that, I would have made $80–$90. So it really affects me, and it makes me not want to work at any restaurant that has a commission-based system, because I'm losing money. And yes, you're taking this money. It's wonderful that you're taking this money and you are giving me, insurance, and you're feeding me. But honestly, I would rather just take it and figure it out myself, feed myself, if it means that I'm going to get more money in my bank account. Because at the end of the day, we come to these jobs so that we can pay our bills. And in the last month or so, my third or fourth check, I had to get a loan from this company, and that's not cool. Whereas if I were getting that 20% that I was getting at, all these other companies that come from LA, where it's just straight across the board, you're making your tips, it's you get your 20%. Even if it's included or not included, I'm paying my bills. I can make this money at this particular restaurant with the higher wage. If I was getting 20%, I wouldn't want to leave. But now I'm forced to look for other jobs because my bills are not getting paid. So, I feel for the companies, and it's sad. It's weird that, we should be applauding, we should be celebrating that we're making more per hour. But at the end of the day, the companies are trying to compensate, and so it's somehow or another, it's not working.
Well, Halo, thank you very much for that thing. And I feel like I'll just ask a question. So do you think that if you were to make maybe a lower wage, maybe not so much, as low as, say, a $2.13 an hour tip credit, but maybe go back to where Washington State or Seattle was a couple of years ago, we were at close to $10 an hour, like $10 an hour plus tips. Do you think that that would be adequate do you think that you would have the ability to maximize your income under something like a situation like that?
Well, yeah, like I said, at the last restaurant that I was working,
Yeah.
my bills were getting paid. I was not unstable as an employee of a restaurant, and it was 11 and a half.
Right. So, and it's the tips that make it stable.
It's the tips
It's
that
not
make it-
necessarily the wage.
Exactly. And again, this company, even though the gratuity was included,
Right.
there was a tip line. We
Ah.
always had to say prior to the people sitting
Right.
down, 20% is included.
Right.
And then at the end of the meal, we said 20% is included. That way, if people wanted to give more, they could.
Right.
I feel like, the companies, if you're going to do this commissionable wage, the customer should be given the option to give more. Right now, their customers, it's not transparent. The
Right.
customer does not know that we don't get that 20%. Even though it's written, even though it says we get a portion, they don't know that we only make, 12, 13, 14% of that.
Right.
They have no idea what we're making. So they don't even think, to give that extra little bump.
Right.
So if they had the option, if it was spelled out, even if it was spelled out, hey, you can leave your server more, I think that we would probably make maybe $20 more per shift, and that would help.
Right. 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 And I think too, and maybe just to speak to this as not just a server, but also a consumer that goes out to eat, and you don't know what you're going to get each restaurant you go into, because
Yeah.
some places it'll say something like there'll just be a tip line and you don't know what their wage is, or they might have a surcharge, which might be a small thing, or the gratuity is added on the check and you still don't know. So there's a lot of different compensation models, would you say, that you don't know. If you were to leave this particular job and go to another, you wouldn't know exactly how you got paid, whereas maybe before you would know because there was kind of an industry standard. But would you say that you're finding that the standard is a little different now, or there are a lot of different compensation models instead of like a regular?
For sure. Yeah, some compensation models. I was at one company where I thought I kind of wasn't making enough, but I was making a lot of cash.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I deposited my cash, my bills were being paid,
Right.
and I was making $15 an hour. And it wasn't, the gratuities included, the customer just
Right.
was able to make that choice. I think when it comes to a lot of these commissions, I think the most transparency is the best idea.
Right. And I think, do you think that under a model with a service charge, that it's less transparent than if you had something like a tip credit and tips, like a tip line? Do you think it's less transparent under a service charge, where your money's going? And okay.
Yeah. I think if you're going
Then
to
if you can collect your
if you're
tips.
if you're going to say that the gratuity is included, I think it should be clear that the server is not getting all of that 20%. And it like I said, it does say that we get a portion, but customers don't pay attention to that.
Right.
They really need to see numbers.
Right.
Because they ask us. I get customers that ask me a lot of times, well, what's this really mean?
Yeah.
Or like I've been getting the last few weeks, this is Tom. Should I say that?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say.
They should say, they'll say, hey, this is this company.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the server is getting their 20%.
Right. And that's not necessarily the thing. So the customers, would you say, are
The
confused?
customers are really confused.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you don't know what's going to happen. Right.
And I do try to say a portion of it.
Right.
They can't hear it because what they see is that 20% included. It just stays embedded in their mind no matter what I say.
Right. I'm trying to think of another question. Is there anything else you'd like to add that you can think of?
I am grateful that they are trying to find ways to make the hospitality industry as a whole better by raising the minimum wage. I think it's sad that I think the sadness comes that the restaurant itself has not had time to prepare for it financially. That was the perspective that I got from speaking to this particular restaurant owner in the interview, was that they just didn't have time to prepare for the wage increase.
So the people that are pushing the minimum wage, or who came up with it and pushed it, did manage to put in a tiered wage so that smaller places have a longer time to come up to the 15, and then the larger places it's a shorter amount of time. So you're saying that that particular company, I don't know how big it is, it was still a strain to them.
Yeah, it still was. 'Cause I think they have maybe at this time I think they have 4 restaurants, but at that time I think they only had 3.
Right.
But yeah, it's still a strain, because they have to look at their business model and what they have prepared for, and they have to look at the long run about the employees, and every little dollar counts. And I think at the end of the day, she was looking at like $1 million that she had to pay out, something like that, to the employees. I don't remember over what span of time, but it was a huge number that was something that she had to look at.
And so also too, I mean, if you see that this is the trend with what's happening in the industry, what are your chances? What are the chances that you would stay in the industry if things continue in this zilch? Right.
Yeah. I mean, and it would be sad. I actually, as annoying as it can be that I've been in this industry for so long, and I actually didn't want to come back into it, but it's kind of, I think it's a great industry that offers flexibility and kind of supposedly good income. That's why I do it, because I'm an artist and I want flexibility and stable income. Under this business model, it's very difficult to do. I would have to move into something else that was like a 9 to 5, or like it would kind of suck if I had to go into a different industry, because it wouldn't fit what I want to do ultimately in my life. But I do love serving. I'm a people pleaser, so it's a perfect industry for me. I like to make people happy.
So, and then talking about flexibility, and I know that I just mentioned this to you earlier about secure scheduling, and I explained to you what that was. If you had to work under secure scheduling, how do you think that would affect you if you didn't have the freedom and flexibility to maximize your schedule and make it the most profitable that you could? You can't.
I would leave the industry. I'd have to.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I might as well be in a 9 to 5 situation.
Right.
And, I've applied to places like Cheesecake Factory, and I always thought about, I was kind of glad, I actually did get hired once at Cheesecake Factory, and I didn't do it because I thought, 1, I didn't want to be the low man on the totem pole, and 2, I didn't want to work, 8 hours a day or something like that.
Right.
I just remember their hours being really, really long, so to be forced to work those really long hours because of an inflexible schedule kill me now.
Yeah. Yes, especially for somebody who has other pursuits like being an artist or a mom, I would say, or taking care of parents or going to school. Having that ability to flex your schedule without any sort of, I guess, I don't want to say recourse, but any sort of pushback from management because they're under so many constraints.
Yeah.
I mean, to have the freedom to do that means a lot, would you say? I mean, that's a big perk.
Everything. That's why I'm in this industry again. Like, again, I didn't really want to do it, but this is what I love to do. If it's going to offer me the right amount of money and flexibility, it's perfect for somebody like me.
Okay. Well, Halo, thank you so much for letting me interview you and talk to you about all these wonderful things. And I
welcome.
appreciate your time, and you're quite gracious, so thank you very much.
Thank